weren't even recording, bro. Well,
Let's do it again.
I like you got a Bears hat, John. I like that hat. That's a good one.
I was at the Bulls game last night. I got a Bulls hat.
Bulls hats are pretty.
Yeah.
I like the Bulls logo.
I do too. It's one of the best logos in sports, maybe.
Oh yeah, I used to have. Are we on?
Yeah.
Let me tell
What's
you,
up,
I
Paul?
used to.
Paul Miller, everybody.
What's up, everybody? I'm
Back
Paul,
on the podcast.
I'm happy to be here. You know, John's a great guy. I'm happy you had me on
Thanks,
the
Paul.
pod, man. Yeah, it means a lot to me. All the listeners out here. Today's date is December 7th,
Yeah.
2023.
Thursday night football.
Talking about Cowboys. We got Cowboys Steelers.
7-3, Patriots.
Yeah,
You know something. I'll tell the story on my dad. I don't know why. But I'm curious whose side you're going to take on this. This infuriates me to no end. I'll be watching football with my dad when I'm back home, and he'll pause the game. We're watching it live, right? And he'll like pause the game with like the DVR thing. He'll like pause the game so that he can like say something or what for whatever reason, and then he'll just play it right back. And I'm like, we're not live now. But no, I would rather miss some of the game and it be live. He thinks I'm crazy for that, but I'm just like, even though I know even when you're watching the game live, it's on a delay.
Yeah.
It's like a slight delay, but just it irritates me to no end that I could be watching the game live, but I'm not. I'm like 5 minutes behind.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, that's brutal.
Does that get you? Does that bother you, or am I crazy?
No, that would drive me literally insane. It's like, dude, you can just leave the game on. Like, we're not gonna miss that much.
Right, exactly.
But sometimes it's nice to.
Because if you miss a good play live, I'll just watch the replay. I already missed it anyways.
You could skip ahead. The one good thing about that, I'm not trying to one up or anything, but it would be like you're watching the game, like,
Right.
pause. Hey, 1 second, I gotta tell y'all something.
Yeah.
And then, all right, go back on.
Right. Yeah. Like that bothers me so much. I understand, whatever, you miss it because of work.
Yeah.
And you just stay off social media and you go home and you watch the game. I get that. I've done that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I had my whole night ruined one time. I was leaving from doing stand-up. I was so excited. I had my whole night planned out after doing stand-up. All right, I'm going home. I'm going to order a pizza. I'm going to watch this game.
Yeah.
I don't know the score. It's going to be great. That was my whole night. And then I just happened to open Instagram and boom, saw the score. And I was like, son of a bitch. And I just didn't watch the game.
That's the hardest thing to do nowadays, man. UFC,
really tough.
I tried doing that with UFC. My coworker texted me. It was the Kamaru Usman when he got knocked out. It sucks, but like it's nice when you could pull that off, though.
It is.
Because then
It's a fresh game as long as you don't know.
It's so great when you actually can pull that off, dude.
It is.
What you could do if he's pausing it, if you're watching it live, you could skip through some commercials if it's not too many pauses.
And get it back to live.
Yeah, and get
right.
it back to live.
But it not being live, when we're watching, when the game is happening and it's not live,
yeah,
like we're 5 minutes behind or 10 minutes behind or whatever.
Dude,
I cannot handle that. Like it just infuriates me for some reason.
I would literally just skip ahead and be like, all right, just to go live.
Yeah.
I would skip ahead.
Yeah,
Just do it.
exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because like something big happens, it's a close game. It's like, are they going to make the 60-yard field goal to win the game? And I'm just thinking, everyone already knows. Everyone already knows what happens.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude.
The Thursday night football games have not been great. Now I know how everyone feels when the Bears and the Carolina game was on.
Yeah.
Steelers and Patriots, not that important of a game.
That Bears-Panthers game was hard to watch, like just in the stadium, let alone on TV. If you weren't a fan, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, but that shit was tight though. Like that whole night, like I liked the walk-in, and then I liked like drinking in the parking lot.
Yeah, we were at the game, by the way.
Yeah, that shit was so fun, dude.
It was.
And they won. And then you guys were on Sunday Night Football post game.
That's right.
Thursday Night Football.
That's right. Yeah, you had to leave, but me and some other comics were on Thursday Night Football. If you go back and watch the Bears Panthers game, and if you look Thursday Night Football, they kept panning to the crowd behind the booth or whatever.
Yeah.
We were right there.
Dude, I was there, and then for whatever reason, I left. I like stepped out. I think I went to the bathroom, and then security said I couldn't come back in. Like I didn't want to leave.
Oh yeah.
But That's how it went down.
Security like kicked us out of the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, even though they were still talking, at a certain point, security decided like that was enough, and they were like, "All right, stadium's closing, time to get out of here." And there was some drunk guys that got really mad about it. This one guy was like, "We're the reason that this place even opens." It's like, all right, chill out. You can't live here.
Dude, when you go to an event like that, do you ever tell yourself, like, hey, man, I'm going to have like 3 beers, and then you end up just drinking like till your face falls off? Like, dude, anytime live sporting event, I just can't help myself. Like, I can't stop.
It's just an exciting drinking atmosphere.
It's so fun, dude.
Also, your like reasonableness starts to change with each beer.
Yes.
It's like, I'll just have a couple, and then once you have a couple, you're like, I could have 4. And then once you have 4, you're like, oh, yeah, come on, might as well go 6.
It's so easy to swipe them too with the online money. Like, just go to like concession stand, dude. When they return that punt, I spent like $50 at the concession stand when they got the punt return.
Yeah,
I'll do that shit, especially when you're drunk.
Yeah,
It's like I got a pretzel, chicken tender basket, a Polish, and a big beer. Dude, the Polish though.
Soldier Field, really good.
We know the stand, but dude, the other one has the grilled onions. The standard Polish they had was also pretty good. Man. Yeah.
Oh, not the gridiron one.
Not the gridiron.
Yeah.
It was solid. Just no grilled onion though.
Oh yeah, incredible. I wonder why they don't have. You would think they would have fast food at stadiums. I'm surprised they don't do that.
Yeah.
Like Taco Bell, Burger King. I've never seen it. Other stadiums that have that? I've never seen that.
Oh. I have no idea, man. Maybe it would lose money for the stadium. But that's a good question. Like, pizza, no, they have like Giordano's.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That's right. At United Center, they have it.
Yeah. But it's not fast food.
True, yeah.
But, dude, like, those, I bet they have to pay to get in there. I don't even know, man.
That seems
pretty good.
That seems crazy to get a deep dish pizza at a sporting event.
It's like a tourist thing. They're good, though, dude. Like,
yeah.
I had one before.
Yeah.
Dude, the United Center, I haven't been there this year. I want to go to a game.
Oh,
Blackhawks game. That shit's fun, dude.
It is. There's something, I was at the Bulls game last night. They played They played the Hornets. They got this.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. They got this guy. They got this rookie. He's like the number 2 pick overall. The Hornets do. Mm-hmm. Who's really good. Richardson, I think, number 4.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's really good. But anyways, the something I thought that I noticed that I didn't pick up on before. I like to go to pro sporting events when it's like games that don't really matter that much because you can get a really good price on the tickets, and also not be totally committed on going. So you get the tickets like last minute if you find a good price. That was kind of what I did because I wasn't even sure if I was going to go. I just thought I might like to go.
Dude, I do the same shit. Like with Blackhawks, like I'll go to like a couple games a year, but like if you wait till last minute, sometimes you can get on like a meaningless game on a weeknight. You can get an insane deal, dude.
Absolutely.
Even Cubs games. I would go to so many Cubs games, dude.
Yeah, there were a lot of empty seats. It was great. Like the whole row I was on, there was like almost no one there, and of course the people that came, they sat right next to me. But then I just kind of moved over, and then no one else came, so I had no one on the left or right of me.
Dude.
Oh, it was incredible.
Spread out.
Oh, it was great.
What level were you in?
I was close.
Close? Okay.
A.
Yeah,
right behind courtside.
Dude, isn't that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Dude.
And what was interesting to me about that is like getting to watch them like warm up and play that close. Something I noticed is different from when I played basketball is that guys at that level, maybe it's just because the stakes of the game were different. I don't know, but the intensity of like they're just so calm. You know what I mean? Like when I played, I remember like you just like be hyping yourself up during warm ups and just game face on, and you're like really like looking serious and like we're about to do this kind of thing. But pros are just kind of like going through their routines, taking shots, like they're working hard on stuff to kind of get them ready for the game. They're making use of it. They're not being lazy, but it's like there's not like that intensity. But then when the game starts, then it's just like, then it is. Then they're like, you know what I mean? Like to be able to go from 0 to 60 is interesting.
Basketball is like once you get going, like once you're on the court, man, it's kind of like there's no pads, so like
Right.
it's pretty. It can
Get that first elbow. It's like, all right, let's go.
It's some real shit, and you can hear the people talking shit. Could you hear them like yelling at each other, or like were they saying shit?
I was as close as I was. It was still kind of hard to hear. But they, dude, there was some pretty serious arguments with the ref. Oh, Caruso.
Yeah,
man, he was so mad at the refs. Like he was like fucking with them. Like he was doing shit like just to piss off the ref. He would like when someone was shooting free throws, he stood in the paint for a minute so the ref like in his way, so the ref like couldn't throw the ball to the guy shooting, like shit like that. Yeah.
That's a little shit you see at the game.
I know.
And then
they don't just always catch that kind of stuff on TV. And he was just like talking shit. Another thing, the refs during one of the half times, and they were doing like the whatever that slam dunk thing they do at halftime with on the springboards, right, trampolines, and the refs were having a conversation right in front of me. I couldn't totally make out what they were saying, but they were pissed. Like they were just like, you could tell they were like talking shit about the players. They were mad.
Wow.
There was a lot of tension between the players and the refs. It was kind of interesting.
That is interesting, dude.
Yeah.
I'd almost like to like I don't even want to say this, but like I'd almost like to like be like I don't know, man, like be sober for that. Like not even drink,
yeah.
just like
Yeah, I was because I was
like,
super hungover.
Yeah.
So I was like not.
You were sober. Yeah, so you probably picked up
I had like a half a beer.
And you probably picked up on so much more stuff because you weren't like distracted. And then
That's true.
Sitting up close at the NBA. I remember when I was a kid, like we would sit up there, but then we'd go down to the closer section, and then when you get close, it looks so big. Like the players look so big.
Yeah.
It's so cool, dude. Like
for me, they just look normal sized.
It's huge though.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like NBA's. I think NBA. What do you think is like maybe the coolest sport to see up close?
I think so.
I'd say number one NBA.
Yeah, I think it is because
it's got to be.
Yeah, because you can see so much more of the game. You can actually see the whole game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you do find that right game and the right price and you're able to sit up that close, it's like being in high school again, going to your game. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because if you don't look up or look behind you, like it's just like sitting right there in the bleachers at your high school game, but it's the best players in the world.
It's insane, man. It's truly like for basketball, like the court, I think it's just smaller. Like, what do you think? Like UFC, actually, like fighting might be up there too.
Probably
like combat sports.
I've never been to UFC. I've been to boxing.
Oh, dude, UFC. We moved down. I went there with my wife. Like when they were at the United Center, they had a pay-per-view there. It was sick, dude. But there's really not a bad seat.
Yeah.
But like some of those seats in the around the ring, dude. Like they're like celebrity seats. They're ridiculous, but it's sick. Like just seeing a knockout live.
I bet.
You
hear it?
Yeah.
You hear it,
it's brutal, dude. It's like seeing somebody die in front of your face. It's like witnessing a death, like a live knockout. Like you don't see knockouts, but it's in the sport.
Right.
You see it on TV, but when you see it live, it's kind of traumatic.
I bet. You can probably feel just this is a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a sport, but at its core, it is a fight, a legitimate fight.
It's like, oh shit. Like you see like a big hit, and then, but like in the UFC, like you see like a guy wind up and just haymaker, and the person just falls and goes limp, like right in front of your face, live. It's really barbaric. Yeah. If you think about that, sport is barbaric.
Oh yeah. I mean, boxing, of course, is a totally different thing, but seeing boxing live, I was surprised how much it, because obviously we've all like witnessed fights happen or been in fights, and the boxing, I was surprised how much it kind of like had the same energy, even though it was clearly this controlled sporting event that we're all sitting around watching, and it still was like, oh, these dudes are like trying to kill each other,
Oh yeah.
I saw a crazy story. The only boxing match I've been to was at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, and the guy is Caleb Plant. You ever heard of him? He's a boxer, pretty well known boxer. But I went to high school with him, and he was the main event at the arena in Nashville. It was like his first time like headlining. I guess I don't know what they call it in boxing. And Dave Chappelle was there. He was just there to watch. It was pretty crazy.
They call it the main card, or what is it? The headliner? It's not the headliner.
Yeah,
What
not
is
the
it,
headliner,
dude?
but yeah, whatever it is. The last guy.
No, it's like the main event. I'd say the main event, right?
Yeah, I think it is main event. That's right. Yeah,
The main event.
yeah. They should do that with stand up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
I'm the main event on this show.
That'd be a cool. Does somebody have that as a nickname? I'm the main event. I think a rapper might.
Probably. Yeah, I think so.
Fucking rapper. I was thinking about comedy and then the rap game, and then there's like there's people who do magic. Like
Yeah.
there's communities of magicians that do like what do you think about that? Like, I don't know.
Magicians.
Just like I don't know.
It is pretty crazy. There's a magician in Chicago that pops in at Mike's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, the guy with the top hat?
Moshe?
I
He's
think so.
Jewish?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
It's so good. It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. They have to do like practice their not jokes, but they have to practice their tricks.
Right.
Like
It is unlike comedy though, in the sense you can practice in your house.
yeah.
But I would imagine that at a certain point you still have to, there's some like crowd work involved.
Mm-hmm.
You could like practice on your buddy or something, but you're still a performer at the end of the day, so you need to know how to perform in front of people, I would imagine.
Exactly. And just get comfortable, and it's a visual act. I was thinking about comedy. Like is this a comedy podcast or
It's whatever, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude. You got like legit fans. Like props to you, man. You're killing it, dude. But I'm just saying, like in stand up, like the criticism that goes on, like
Yeah.
it's all white noise to me, really. But artists in general in these communities, like, do you think there's like magicians that are like, yo, fuck this guy's trick. That's so fucking lame. Like
100%.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
I love that.
I knew that trick in third grade.
Yeah.
And this guy people are excited about that.
Yeah. Isn't that
This guy's a fucking
true?
hack. Yeah, I
Trippy to
guarantee
think
it.
about that?
Oh, I
Like,
guarantee
just
it.
thinking about that makes me like laugh inside for whatever reason. Just like this magician, like seeing, like I bet like another magician would see that and be like, oh yeah, he's doing the same trick, but like he totally effed that up.
Right.
How'd he pull that off?
Yeah, that's what I feel like. All artist communities are probably the same,
Mm-hmm.
and like your friends end up being people who do art that you respect, and then everyone else you can't stand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like with comedy, it's hard to be friends with someone that you don't respect their comedy.
I hate that.
You know, but it is kind of,
I know, man. I don't know.
and those sort of like, groups sort of happen that way. It's kind of interesting. I had that experience like when I first moved to Chicago. It was like there were certain people that I kind of would hang with or talk to more, and then it was like, but then once I started to like get a feel for like what the different groups were, it was like, oh, that person's a part of that group, and I don't like those people, so I'm not really. It's hard to be like, so you know what I mean? It's like you sort of like nestle into your little clan. It's just unavoidable. It's just like it's sort of what happens all over the world on all different scales.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, from an outside perspective, like you coming in just fresh off the boat, like from Tennessee, not fresh off the boat, but like coming in and moving here and then getting into an artist community. It's a totally different, situation. Me,
It is.
like coming in, my first time doing comedy was here, but I came in like not knowing jack shit
Right.
about anything.
Yeah, coming in to a new scene is different.
But you have been doing the art in a different area,
Right.
for a long time,
Right.
which is like honorable. Like you've been doing comedy for a long time, and then having that experience, and then it's a whole different experience going to a new city or like a new home base. Say that much.
Right.
It's trippy to think about, man.
Yeah, it is. it's funny too how I'm sure regardless of what you do, you could probably relate to this. Is if you have a lot of experience in one area, and you kind of have a community of people that you know in that area, and then you go to a completely different place and do the same thing, you meet a lot of the same types of people.
That's crazy.
And you kind of already know, like, oh, there's that type of guy, or there's that type of girl, or there's this, there's that. You know what I mean? And you kind of you can kind of get around a lot easier because even though it's different, you still have that experience, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of comics that I knew in Nashville where I could very quickly pick up on okay, I know how this person thinks because that's the this from that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's obviously everyone is an individual, but there's still it's crazy how many similarities though there are in people.
It is crazy, man. Especially, I think I don't know. Plus, there's substance abuse, like alcohol. There's people that just don't drink and don't like to drink.
Yeah.
So, I'm not saying substance abuse, but there's different interests that people have that have nothing to do with comedy in general. Some people like to go to bars and have beers and crack jokes or watch sports or they're into football, so they like different places.
Mm-hmm.
So and then just different traits, different interests. I'm into, let's say NFL. And then you're with other people that are doing that you're hanging out around and who also like shit like that.
Exactly.
Or I'm into music, and then I'm into, whatever, drawing or video, acting or creating. I'm into, glass blowing or some shit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, and all there's so many different ways that people kind of group up based on different things like that. I remember hearing a story about I heard Dave Grohl talk about being in Nirvana, speaking of music, and how he wasn't as close with Kurt as he could have been, even though being in the same band, because he wasn't doing heroin. Wow. You know what I mean? So even in that small of a group, there was a split between the guys that were doing that and the guys that weren't, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They were doing Kurt Cobain and those guys were doing heroin.
Kurt Cobain was doing heroin.
Yeah. I'm so dumb, dude. Whatever, man.
He's the heroin guy.
Oh man. Is that whatever. Can we edit that out?
It's staying in.
I know
Paul Miller didn't know that Kurt Cobain did heroin.
Oh man.
That's so funny.
I feel dumb for that.
Nah. You can't know everything, dude. There's so much information. You know how much shit there is to know? You can't know it all.
I know. I'm pretty bad at I'm good at math. I'm good at I just have no idea about pop culture or current events or any of that. I really don't. I don't know. It's really weird to me that I have no. I don't know, dude.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
I'm pretty out of the loop when it comes to.
I'm out of the loop.
Most popular music and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
I mean, the most I know about popular songs is something I hear in the gas station when I'm filling up.
Yeah, dude, same here. Or at a bar.
Yeah, exactly. Or at a bar. Yeah.
Somebody was playing some rap. Who was it? Somebody was playing some music at an open mic yesterday, and then I was like, "Oh, who is that?" And he's like, it was some song. I'm like, oh, is that this? And then he's like, no, it's this guy. And I'm like, oh, cool. And it's a really popular song.
Yeah.
I'm showing. I think we're showing our age.
Yeah, that's part of it too.
That's probably what it is, dude.
Yeah, that's a lot of it.
Because what do you think about this? When you were 22 or in college, you're just around so many students and everybody's got oh, this song's hot, and then
this new thing.
It's cool. To know what was cool.
I think it's because when you're young, you don't know who you are yet.
Yeah.
So what you're interested in is what's new.
That's cool, man.
So you're trying to figure stuff out, and then we get older. You're like, nah, I like this thing. I like that thing. That's how I like to spend my time. Mm-hmm. So you don't have as much time for just being aware of everything that's new.
That's true, dude. I really never thought about that. Like now that I'm in my 30s, like
More selective with your time, I
I
think, is a big
guess
part of it.
yeah, dude. I mean, it's great. I like
Yeah.
who I am. I'm just thinking like it's weird how time does that to your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, getting old, it happens fast. I always have this
Yeah.
argument with people. Like, people will be like, time flies. It goes by so fast or whatever. And sometimes it feels that way, but I don't know. Also, occasionally I'll like look back at something in the past and be like, that was only 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Be like, it feels like 50 years ago.
Oh yeah, dude. It's the same time, man. I mean,
like think about something before the pandemic.
yeah.
Like 2019. Think about something you did in 2019. That feels, for me at least, that feels like an eternity ago. Like just another lifetime.
It does, dude. Like I have like vivid memories of, especially like, what do you think about when comedy first came? Like for me, dude, like in Chicago, there was literally a block, like a city ordinance that you couldn't do comedy because they had rules in place. Like bars,
right.
bars were shut down. Bars were the number one thing that took the biggest hit. It's
Yeah.
like indoor bars. When they brought comedy, the amateur scene, like the workout rooms and shit back. Once those started coming back,
Was there any like underground stuff happening?
there were,
People didn't give a shit. They were just kind of.
there were bars that were open. I mean, not comedy though. Like
Okay.
there were bars that
Yeah, they
were
weren't
just
supposed
like-
to be open. They were.
yeah,
They were like went back to the speakeasy,
Yeah, it
It's
was like a speakeasy.
which is hilarious if you think about it. Because that's the 100-year anniversary of Prohibition,
Yeah.
right? Because Prohibition was like 1920, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So 2020. So on the 100-year anniversary of Prohibition, bars had to be speakeasies again.
That's trippy, dude. There was a bar in Rogers Park. I'm not gonna mention the location though. Me and my buddies, like after watching like a game, we're like, all right, we're going to the bar. I'm like, what do you mean we're going to the bar? They're like, yeah, we're going to the bar. I walk into this fucking bar. It's like peak pandemic, like winter.
Yeah.
Nobody's wearing masks. It's like the pandemic's not even going.
Oh wow,
It was so bad.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? And then the door was closed. Like you walk in though, it's like a fucking party in there,
Yeah.
and nobody was allowed to hang out outside.
Okay. I don't want to call out any bars, but I bet
Yeah.
I can think of at least one where that was going on.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna
There,
name.
yeah, no, I know there was some. No, definitely don't. But there was some in Nashville like that. But Nashville didn't say shut down for very long. I mean, I remember the pandemic being in Nashville, which I'm sure was very different from how it was up here. Was basically in June, around June. Like obviously, it all happened at the end of March, April 2020, and then in June. So just like 2 or 3 months later, everyone kind of thought it was over. So restaurants, bars, kind of started opening up again. But then pretty soon after that, then it was like another wave. So then they put down all these restrictions, but nothing closed again after that. It was just rule, like you had to wear a mask, or they had limited seating and capacity, and and things like that. And there were a lot of businesses that there were these guys that were like going around and like enforcing the rules, but there were a lot of bars that had the right connections that could kind of just keep those guys away or pay them off or whatever.
Whoa, like kind of like a
It's like old school.
like
mob
hey,
shit.
follow the rules.
Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah. That was a wild time though. I did a I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast or not, but I kept it a secret for a while, of course. I don't give a shit now, but I ran a show. That's when I was asking if there's any underground comedy stuff, because I ran a show in my house during the pandemic. It's funny. When it happened, I had this idea, and I was the only one that ended up doing it. I thought it was a good idea. So when they first like shut everything down, they were like, no gatherings over 10 people, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, easy. So I posted this whole thing on the comedy group in Nashville. I was like, all right, here's what we do. We all group up with 9 or 10 of our buddies, and whoever has the best place in your group to do it, just have a show, once or twice a week. But don't do other people's shows. Like only do your show. Stick with your people. And I think at the time people kind of thought it was a good idea, but then like no one really wanted to do it. So it was just me. And I had a group of about, so we did the most we ever had was we did have 11 once. So we broke the rules. But most
11.
of the 11. I know, lawbreakers. But we did have there was a group of about, I would say, like 8 of us that were kind of like the regulars. And there'd be anywhere from like one time there was only 3 of us. We still did the show.
Fuck yeah.
It was pretty crazy. Just performing for 2 guys sitting on a couch.
Live stream it.
Yeah. No, it was not live stream.
It
was fun though. It was a fun time. It was unproductive, but at least it like kept the comedy brains moving.
Yeah, man. Yeah. For me, dude, that's fucking dope, man. Nobody had a house show here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how true it was, but we used to joke about we were like the only comedy show in the country.
Oh, yeah.
It was, there was probably, I'm sure it was that kind of thing was happening other places, but.
Damn, that's really cool, man. You guys must have really wanted to do comedy.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm trying to think. I think just about everybody that was part of that is still doing it, except for maybe one person. So.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people quit.
They do.
Especially if people here, man. Like, all due respect, like people, their lives pretty much changed.
Yeah.
And you're
people don't realize how big of a deal it is to do comedy and how much it becomes your whole life.
And when you take that away, it's probably good for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are doing much better now that they quit.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Like that saying there, if you can, you should.
Yeah.
Do
what you want to do, but man.
Yeah, it's it's the age-old problem of that we all face is the whole, work-life balance.
Yeah.
And some people are willing to make the choice of putting it all into work and what they want to become, and comedy is one of those things where, to really, for most people, if you don't have a lot of lucky breaks, you kind of have to just be obsessed and you have to put your entire being into it to have a shot, because there's a lot of people out there who are willing to do it, and there's only so many spots, Yeah. But comedy, weirdly, is one of those things, though, that I hesitate to say it gets easier the more successful you get. But I mean, you do once you're like a working comic, you can have more of a regular life to a certain degree. When you're getting started, it's just tougher because you have to do so. You have to just go up like every night. Mm-hmm. When you're not headlining weekends.
Yeah, man. I think you just gotta. I don't know. Kind of gotta. I don't even know, man. To quit, like it's almost like a part of your life. To quit doing what you do. I don't know, man. I mean, in zero capacity,
right?
Like you could dial it back,
right?
For sure. But like just abort,
right?
Comedians are so fucked up, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Why are you motherfuckers doing this? And then people don't understand. Like, I brought some family and friends to a show recently, and like I was at this bar show, and these people weren't comedy fans. Like, it was just like a random people, and just like, why is this lineup here though? Like, and then you guys have no idea. Like, you almost make it look easy. Like, a normal person can't go up on stage for 12 minutes and try to make an audience of random people laugh. You got to kind of have to do this. There's like an underworld of stand-up comedy that people don't see.
Right.
And then that's the coolest part. I think that's the coolest part of it is like the little open mics and little nooks and crannies. And then when you're at the show, you don't know what the fuck this guy went through to get this set going.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking dope. It's almost like you're fucking...
Dude, yeah. When you see... You go to a professional comedy show and you see that motherfucker up there doing an hour and killing, the shit that guy had to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, a crazy amount of
shit. Dude.
I mean, a crazy amount of shit. You have no idea what some of these guys have had to go through. There's been some people who've had some very lucky breaks and they didn't have to go through a lot of that. But most comics that you see that make it to the finish line, they went through a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
For a long time.
And they probably considered quitting. They probably had some shit sets, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like George Carlin, dude, that guy, like, I'm saying like dog shit. Like they turned the lights off on this motherfucker. He bombed so bad. Have you ever had a bomb? Like, I mean, it happens to everybody, but like, dude, I've had it comes in like highs and lows, dude. Like, I've had shows where I got done. It's like, fuck that, I'm done. And then you just keep going up. You can't, and then you have like really that. It's like, and then you see these comedians at these shows, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, if you're not having like a terrible time, like you shouldn't have like a terrible set, but like you've had those terrible sets, so that's why you fucking like know how to like. I don't know, man. Just
yeah. I heard. Ralph Barbosa. He blew up off of Don't Tell. He's just did a Netflix special. Was on Rogan.
No, I probably would recognize him. I'm just like we said earlier. I'm so out of even in comedy. Dude, I don't know anybody, bro.
Well, I don't know anybody. He had, I thought, a great quote. Actually, I met him at Zany's. I was doing the showcase after his headlining. I got to talk to him briefly, but he had a great line, I thought, on Rogan where he was talking about how he's like, stand up is the only thing I've ever done where I want to do it again, no matter how it goes. Where it's like, if you do well, you're like, that was fun, I want to do that again. And if you do really bad, you're like, oh, I got to do that again. I got to make that better. I got to get better,
Yeah, dude. It's like a little, like you're whittling down, or like you're like little hobby almost.
yeah. Steel sharpens steel. That's what you're getting to.
Well, yeah. Well, like, hey, I fucked up this this painting, so I'm gonna get a new canvas and try it again.
Yeah, you think they got open mics for painters?
I bet the art industry people critique like, why the fuck is that at the showcase? How did that? Are you kidding me? Do you see how the lines on that thing? Like a beautiful piece of art, dude.
Yeah.
How subjective is that?
Oh yeah.
So subjective.
Absolutely. Man. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the cool thing about all art, and that's why I think artists are so crazy.
Yeah.
Is that you don't have it doesn't matter how successful you are, you'll never have like a concrete thing that's measurable on paper that tells you how good you are. You know what I mean? You'll never have that.
It's so dope.
You'll never have that.
Art, man.
It's
funny, dude.
Yeah, maybe you didn't deserve your success because you'll look at other people who are as successful as you, and you'll think they didn't deserve it. So you'll think maybe I'm one of them. So it doesn't matter. You'll never accomplish real validation as an artist. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It will never happen. And no matter how good you are, most people hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there's no art that like, except for like maybe the Beatles, that like most people agree is good. Even with the Beatles, at least 30% of the country thinks they suck, probably, right? At least.
Oh, there's some people that probably can't stand their music.
Yeah.
Like you put the Beatles on, they're like, turn this shit off.
Right.
Honestly, but you can't say from just an appreciation standpoint that like the Beatles have some skill, Yeah,
you would hope people would recognize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear the new Beatles song?
No.
Dude, you didn't know? Are you a Beatles guy?
I hate when people say,
I don't keep track of
these
new bands coming out.
Dude, I don't know shit. I literally don't know jack shit, dude. I'm stuck in from when I was 8 years old. I'm still listening to the same music.
Yeah. Like what?
Like I was listening to Audio Slave the other day. Like I still listen. I've been listening to Audio Slave for fucking 20 years, man.
Yeah, it's good shit. Like a grunge guy, like a big 90s.
Yeah. I like all that shit. I didn't even know what this was even a genre, like indie and alternative rock. I don't even know what is indie rock, dude. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But apparently Spotify thinks I like it.
So they just keep feeding it to you.
Yeah. And there's so many, I like all that shit, the emo shit. It's kind of lame, but some of it I fucking hate. I hate whiny guys. I can fuck this shit. Turn this shit off, dude.
With you on that.
I like emotions. I think I might be
emotions that aren't pussy.
Yeah. Well, not just
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I like people that in music there's some emotion, like Tupac Shakur,
right.
Fucking like Eminem,
yeah.
I like emotion. I think that's the best music too. Fucking some it's not just good music. Maybe the Beatles aren't even that emotional. I don't think they are they?
No, I think they are.
Let It Be, Let It Be.
Yeah.
That song's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah. The new song. You have to check out the new song.
Let's play it after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it on. It's called Now and Then.
Okay.
What's special about it is so it's considered to be the last Beatles song because there was this tape that Yoko Ono discovered that was John Lennon's tape where he recorded these demos, and it was uncovered in the 90s, and they basically like took the demos and then they turned them into songs. But there was this one that they kind of had trouble with because he was playing the piano over it, and the piano was like so much louder than his vocals, and they weren't able to like isolate it, So they kind of gave up on it and they never finished it, right? So then fast forward today with the AI technology, they were able to go in and isolate his voice and separate it from the piano.
What?
Yeah, and then they took George Harrison's original guitar parts from when they were recording it before, and then I think Paul like added to them or re-recorded them, did something like that. He did something, he tweaked it somehow, and then Paul played bass on it, and then Ringo came in and played the drums on it, and and I think Paul did some backing vocals. I mean, so it's a Beatles song. It's they're all involved. It's incredible.
John Lennon in it?
Yeah, John Lennon's the main. Like he wrote it and is singing it. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
It's so cool. What I love about the song
is trippy.
But you haven't heard it yet. But I like my biggest takeaway from it is so like John Lennon, it was a demo, right? He's just sitting in his apartment in New York, banging away on the piano, playing this song. So like there's like a casualness and a lightheartedness to his singing. The words are kind of heavy, but he's singing it in a way that feels kind of, just like kind of casual, I guess. I don't know. There's a better word to describe it. But then as Paul put the song together, it has a heaviness to it. There's a weight to it. Obviously, also knowing it's the last Beatles song, that gives it weight on its own. But then just the way that they add the other music to it gives it a weight. So it's like it creates like a really, to me, an interesting balance of like this heavy song, but with these like kind of almost lighthearted, like John Lennon vocals.
Like just
cool.
They say cavalier. That's a big word.
But
like just word. Like he's in his. So I haven't heard the song
LeBron
yet.
James.
Hell yeah, dude. Haven't heard the song yet. But like maybe nonchalant or maybe not a big deal. Maybe he's just in his apartment. That sounds so cool. Like that's like where the best shit comes from too. It's when you're not like when you're just doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing. Like it's good. Like improv. It might have been more improvisational. Maybe. Maybe that's the way he recorded his music, or like how he wrote his songs was just going at it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Recording. He recorded it.
I don't know anything about writing music, but I would imagine it's probably kind of the opposite of comedy in the sense where, with comedy, the words matter so much because you have to elicit a response from the words.
Yep.
Whereas music, it's more about the tone and the melody and all that. And once you kind of have all that together, then probably the words themselves don't matter as much. It's more of like how they're said and the way that they're put together kind of thing.
How you say it,
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a different thing. I saw this podcast interview or a clip from a podcast with Rick Rubin, and I forgot who he was talking about, but he was producing some album, and they were having trouble with some section of a song, and he told him to grab a random book and then pick a random page, and then read like the first word that he found, and then make those the lyrics.
Yeah,
and it was like supposed to be like this cool thing. I was like, so you just stole some shit? You just stole the lyrics? You're too lazy to write your own fucking song?
Yeah.
I was like, you could never do that with comedy.
No.
I can't figure out how to finish this bit. Let me just grab a random book.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I got an idea. This sparked an idea I had in my head. Like,
okay.
All right, there's like really good comedians who like died or whatever, like, and they had great jokes. Like, could comedians like do how musicians do like cover songs? Could a comedian just do some guy's bit just as like out of respect? Like,
right.
Everybody knows it's a cover bit. Like,
yeah.
Like and then you do it a little bit differently, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see that.
We should do that. I think people should. I think that people should allow that, or like it should be done. Like maybe you could do, not like Mitch Hedberg or anybody, but like somebody else's bit, like funny. I don't know. Is that pretty fucked up to think about?
Yeah, it's weird that
I like thinking about that.
Yeah, I honestly don't think it's bad.
Yeah,
it's just you're not stealing if it's like understood what you're doing. Yeah. But the only thing is though, it's like I don't have a big problem with it, but it's also like kind of understood you're not supposed to do it.
Yeah, but if you
if I saw I you.
If you do it like being transparent though, like hey guys, I'm covering this bit right now. I just love this bit so much. People do that in passing, like just not on a show.
I think though it would have to be like a
you go viral.
It would have to be a famous comic. What would bother me about it is if someone was like using it to get ahead.
Oh, dude, you probably could nowadays. Here's one thing, dude. We're living in this time right now. We are living in it, dude. All right, it's happening as we speak. It's the online explosion of comedy.
Yeah.
I think we're living in it, dude.
Oh yeah,
like
big time.
If like it can go quick. I think if you don't catch the wave now, you wait like a couple of years.
There's always another wave.
It's gonna get diluted. There's always another wave. That's a good point.
There's always another type of wave.
We're living in a wave right now.
Yeah, we are for sure.
It's a whirlwind.
We are for sure. But there's always another type of wave. That's the thing with comedy. That's why it's like I think like some comics they focus too much on like I got to put out all these reels and all these clips and all this shit or whatever. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do that.
You gotta at the end of the day, the craft.
It's gotta get good.
The craft.
Yeah.
But there is a wave going on, and what was I gonna say? Who knows like what technology will do to the fucking industry.
Oh, there's no telling.
Like
I don't think
AI too. Like
I think eventually the reels, reels, TikToks, shorts, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thing now and has been for the last year or so.
Yeah.
Eventually that'll be gone too. And people won't even
That's true, dude.
use those. And you know what's going to kill that? I think my theory is I've always had this feeling like that's not going to last.
Yeah.
And I recently realized what I think it would be that kills it is when our phones are not rectangles anymore.
Or just shut that shit down.
I mean, eventually that's going to happen. Like they've already got this phone, this Google phone that like opens up and it's like a book. Or it's like square. You know what I mean, dude? Phones like that whole thing is going to change at some point. Whether it's like Neuralink or some sort of like
chip.
Chip or some sort of thing where it's like a hologram. You know what I mean? Or there's just so many screens everywhere that like you just like have this thing, you sort of like interface with it. Like I mean, there'll probably be a time where like having a big glass rectangle in our pockets will be archaic.
That is kind of trippy. It does seem like it could be archaic. Like why you gotta fucking charge it? Like
right. Because there's no advantage to vertical videos other than it fills up your whole phone.
Yeah.
That's the only advantage it has over anything else.
True,
it fills up your whole phone.
We used to have to charge our phones, dude. Like, you used to have to plug it into a wall outlet.
Yeah.
It is kind of archaic, dude. The rectangular fucking phone, and it's got like scratched up screen.
It's big.
The screen could crack.
Yeah. And I think too, people are gonna start to see the downside of like being addicted to reels and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. They're also gonna just shut the shit down. Like, aren't they gonna shut down that TikTok app? Like,
I've heard they've been talking about it.
Shut that shit down.
It's like a Chinese spy.
They're making
operation.
A lot of money off. It's fucked.
Yeah.
I think China. People are probably other people have a conspiracy, but like, China might know stuff like about down the road. Like they might have like a long-term plan to F over the world, maybe, or maybe
you can cuss on this podcast. By the way,
we've discussed it.
No, I'm saying you can cuss on this podcast.
Oh, I thought you said it's been discussed on this podcast. Actually,
whoa! 5 guests ago, that was already said.
People might have like a 30-year plan to disrupt the whole population.
Dude,
like the world is trippy. We're all living on the same planet, bro. Yeah. We're all living here. Who wants to be the dominant? We're the dominant country. The United States is dominant, right?
For now, I think it'll probably stay that way. I mean, I tell you, we're winning the culture war.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
all of our entertainment is basically the biggest entertainment, right?
Yeah.
You know,
our
movies, our music.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, I love
sports even.
I love the United States sports. Yeah, we really do have like.
I know soccer is of course huge in Europe.
Soccer, but just like UFC now is blowing up. UFC is a good example.
Yeah,
it's global, dude.
Yeah,
it's such a cool sport.
Yeah, it is.
It's so global. Global shit is cool to talk about.
Yeah, the NFL is trying to go global.
Yeah.
The
NFL.
I don't.
No way, dude.
You know, they have the games in Germany, and
here's why I have to dispute that because I play football. It's the youth systems. Like you got to put an infrastructure in for youth football. The kids they don't have youth football leagues, and they probably do, but like they're not as big as every community is like in the United States is.
I see what you're saying because it'll take like a long time.
Dude, the high school systems are. It's almost like a professional sports. Some of these high schools, take it real freaking seriously.
Especially Texas high schools.
Yeah.
There's some Texas high schools that are like college teams.
Yeah. And then it's pretty tight. Like I would just lift and, it really is like that. At my high school, it wasn't like that though.
And you're right though, because that's how the European basketball players got so good. Was because these kids were playing from so young, and they were going pro in their teens and stuff. You know, there was I think I'm pretty sure there's like players that are like 12 that are professional basketball players, and they like quit school and stuff. I think I'm pretty sure I heard that. Yeah, I mean it's insane. There's going to come a time where the NBA is going to be. It's already getting there. Like mostly Europeans, I feel like.
Really?
I mean.
Yeah.
Happen,
And basketball is such a cool sport, man. I mean,
it is.
You literally don't need anything but a ball and a hoop.
Yeah.
It's so dope. It's like it's almost like soccer or like what other sports are like that? Like maybe it can't be tennis cuz you need equipment, like just a ball.
Yeah, I can't think of another sport
just
really like
ball.
That. I'll tell you
it's got to be basketball.
My favorite
soccer maybe.
I'm not a big hockey guy or a big soccer guy. I definitely would like hockey way more than soccer.
Yeah.
But my favorite sports being basketball and football, I like the one reason I think that those two sports are so great is because there's like a saved progress throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? So like in football, you've got the gained yardage, right? Which is like at any point in the game, like there's movement happening. It's like entertaining to follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like turnovers mean so much.
Yeah,
it's huge. It's a huge deal when there's a turnover. Yeah. Basketball turnovers don't matter that much, but the score is that kind of saved progress.
Yeah.
Whereas in like I get a little bit bored of like hockey or soccer where it's like so much can happen, but really nothing in the game has changed.
The score, yeah.
The
score is trippy. Like, because, hockey, it's like...
It needs to be like easier to score. I don't know.
There's just not a lot of... Like, it could be 0-0, but there's a team that's got time of possession, more time of possession.
Like, I heard someone make the argument that, like, American football is... people complain that soccer sucks because it's low scoring, but American football is no different. The scores have higher numbers, And my rebuttal to that would be like, no, it's not the same because it's the yardage being gained. Where you just don't have that in soccer.
That's a little piece of
game
the
within the game.
Game within the game. It's like a stat. Maybe it's just stats.
Right, because it's like you were watching them get closer to scoring.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, he almost got it and he didn't. Oh, he almost got it and he didn't. Oh, he almost got it.
That would be trippy if soccer like tracked that. Like possession yards. Possession yards. Yeah. They probably do track that.
Maybe.
I'm sure somebody's tracking possession.
Yeah, time of possession, I guess.
Time of possession, I guess. But like just and also like but there's also people backwards pass it. So it's a weird debate.
Yeah. Hockey, at least you got there's like a physicality to it that's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I still, football for me is number one. Then basketball would be number two. Live, I feel the opposite. Live, football's better on TV. Basketball's better when you're there.
Yeah. I could totally get on board with that, man.
I want to go. The Lakers are so Bulls are playing the Lakers in a couple of weeks. I want to go, but the tickets are very, very expensive.
For whatever reason, man, Bulls games are expensive, dude.
They are kind of
all the Blackhawks too. Because I'm gonna go to a game, but like I can't be going to like I don't know. It's almost like I'd rather spend money if I was gonna spend money on a good seat at a sporting event. It would be NFL because there's only like 9 games and then it's once a week.
Right.
So that's why NFL is king. Like for me, like. It's like a big deal, dude. Like going to a freaking NFL sporting event. Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, like what we were saying earlier about basketball being better to watch live because you see the whole game.
Yeah.
Even though in an NFL game you're only seeing like a slice of it close.
I know.
Or you're really far away and you see the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's still there's an atmosphere to an NFL game.
You're in it. Yeah.
That's just incredible. You know? Incredible. Even just walking into the stadium.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the jerseys on and they're fucking hyped up. Soldier Field, they're chanting "fuck the Packers." You know what I mean? It's it's incredible.
That's gonna be an interesting Week 18 game at Lambeau.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
because it could be Bears versus Packers because they're both gonna be in the hunt. I think the Bears, if they could win a couple, I mean, if they literally just win the next 2 games, they'll be in the hunt. Like they'll be 6-7 maybe.
Yeah.
I hope that's right math. No, that's not the right math, but they have 4 wins. So
yeah, they got 4 now. So technically they're better than last year.
If they win like a few games in a row, they could be in the hunt. Like, that's the NFC this year. Normally it's not like that. The NFC this year. I was looking at the Bears. I hate to detour and talk about the Bears.
No.
So they lost to the Broncos, which was a miraculous loss. Like they had that game in the bag. And they lost to the Lions, which was also a miraculous loss where they had it in the bag. So they could be like 6-7 right now.
Right.
I don't know. They could be in the hunt right now.
Yeah, it's not quite as bad as it looks. You know. Yeah, it's been tough for being a Titans fan and a Bears fan. Both been rough seasons for both of those teams.
The Titans too were like in that Colts game. Holy shit, dude!
Yeah.
Was that Colts game was insane.
Yeah, it really was.
I had to text you because my cousin had this parlay going.
Yeah.
And he had the Colts. He cashed out in overtime. But dude, that whole game was so nuts.
Yeah.
Like, and then I had a brutal loss at the end.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry about that.
It was. I do feel good about the future of Levis though. Did you happen to see that play that he made? And to me, it was like off of this one play. I'm like, this guy he's got a lot of heart, and he could be a great quarterback. He threw the interception, and then he recovered and then the guy got hit, and he recovered the fumble.
It was ruled a fumble.
Yeah,
that play was insane.
That was like one of the craziest hustle plays I've seen out of a quarterback.
And then he ran it for a touchdown. Like he had the mental capacity.
Oh, well, no, but they called him down.
They called him down, but he had the mental.
Right. You
IQ,
did. That's right. Yeah,
his IQ. He picked it up and he was.
I forgot about that.
I was like, holy shit! This could actually be a touchdown. Yeah, and it could have been a touchdown.
It was smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will Levis. I mean, he's made some mistakes, but he's got a lot of potential. I think
that was so crazy, dude.
That was a crazy play.
Oh, I love it when that happened. It's better when it happens for your team. That happened against the Bears Packers. Here's what happened the year the Packers won the Super Bowl. All right, get this. It was one of those where it was like the Packers had to win. The Bears could keep the Packers out, and the Packers won the game. Guess what happened one play? It was a fumble. It was an incomplete pass ruled no whistle, right?
Okay.
And the Bears defense is just moping around like whatever. And Rodgers and this other guy picked it up, and they scored a touchdown on it. I don't know.
And it stood.
And it was a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
It was just because the Bears defense had no freaking charisma. Yeah. They thought the play was dead, blah, blah. It was a touchdown.
Especially in football, you got to play till you hear the whistle.
Yeah. It's weird sometimes, though. Like that shit. And football's the only sport, I think, where that kind of crazy. Football's like the biggest trick play sport, isn't it? Like trick plays.
Yeah, I think so. Because one play can matter so much.
It's crazy, dude. It's dope.
Yeah.
Trick plays are weird.
It really is such a great game. Whoever invented that game, whoever came up with it. Do you know who invented it?
Let's get it on Wikipedia.
Yeah,
I don't know. I should know that. That's like another fact we should know.
All right, who?
It started. I know. I've heard from my my dad, he said that it started out, there was no passing. It was just running.
Huh.
Like, that's how football started. It was like just.
Walter Camp.
Let's look at this because this is interesting.
Yeah. He altered the rules of rugby to create football. Interesting. I didn't think about that. So, yeah, rugby was kind of like the first version of it. But that guy, he sort of altered it to make it into American football.
That's so dope. Rugby's a cool sport, too.
It's pretty cool.
Rugby is sick.
It's trippy because it's like close enough to football where it feels like football, but then they do some wild shit. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
You know, they can just run and then kick the ball. Like, it's very different rules.
I wonder if rugby, like, you'd think, like, didn't rugby start in Europe?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, like, shouldn't, like, Europe be, like, the powerhouse? Maybe they're powerhouse in rugby, but, like, how did America get so good at football?
Yeah.
I mean, but we probably couldn't fuck with European countries at rugby, though. They'd probably kill us.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How we doing on time and stuff, dude? Go around?
Yeah. Just cross the hour mark.
Oh, okay.
We'll wrap it up here in a minute.
Yeah. I was just wondering, man.
Yeah, man. Good having you back on.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell them about this, which I guess I haven't told you this. Remember that podcast we recorded with my buddy Jesse Gregory and remember that one? We were so drunk I didn't put that one out.
Yeah, good.
But I think I might put it on like behind a paywall at some point on Patreon.
Is it funny?
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I haven't watched it.
Right,
I gotta watch it.
I've been on. This is my third podcast. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That's tight, dude.
But yeah, only the second that they've seen.
Yeah.
I may put that one behind a paywall at some point.
It's
but that one was just like it was just unhinged. We went to the Bears Raiders game.
Yeah.
And then we had a few beers. And then we didn't drive, we Ubered back.
Yeah.
And we did a podcast wasted.
That was such a fun day, man.
That was a fun day.
You know what's funny?
That was a great game. They won and
hell
everything.
Yeah, dude. I like the walk back here was like fun for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It was like a nice crisp fall day.
Oh wait, we walked all the way back
from Pequods. Okay, so we wanted to go to Pequods and they had a huge wait.
That's right.
That walk was great.
I forgot about that. And where did we go? Where did we end up going?
We got Pequods delivered.
Oh yeah.
I remember that day was so sick, dude. Like that was such a great Sunday.
That was nice.
From start to finish. You ever have a day like that where like it's like 10 a.m. till like bedtime? It was just like such a fun, like action-packed day, man.
Yeah.
That shit. You got to do that. You got
to treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah, dude.
You do. Yeah, and if you love football, man, there ain't nothing like a Sunday. Especially those days when they were doing those like overseas games, because you got a game at 8.
Oh yeah.
And then you got a game at noon.
Count me in.
And you got 3:30, and then you got the night game. It's 4 games back to back.
It's depressing when it ends, because after the Super Bowl, it's very depressing until March Madness. But then you got the Masters, March Madness, and MLB's coming back.
Yeah. You get NBA playoffs up until the summer.
And we do it all over again, man.
Yeah.
Sports are funny because you get so emotionally invested in it. It's like, dude, only one team can win, and then you're just going to do this all over again next year.
Yeah.
It's actually great. That's one good thing about being older. You kind of have your routine down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can, like, really just enjoy life and, like, I don't know, man.
It's true.
I'm happy I'm a Chicago sports fan, dude. Like,
it's a great sports
part
fan.
of my life.
It's great. People love to talk, dude. I can't. When you hear people do that whole sports ball thing, it's like, get over yourself.
Yeah.
I can't handle that. I can handle it, but it's like, it's so irritating. It's such a like people. I think they're smart. Think they're too smart for sports.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's not how it works. You know what I mean? It's like with wrestling. It's like people probably like to. I've never been a wrestling fan, but I've never been one of those guys that's like, don't you know that's fake? It's like, yeah, but it's fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are like, sports, it doesn't matter. You know, or like, oh, you could just, I'm not going to watch somebody do something I could do in my backyard. You're not doing that in your backyard. You're not running a 4.2 40 in your backyard.
I was thinking about this, too. Like, the NFL in general, dude, these are like grown human beings.
Yeah.
They must be out of their freaking minds, dude. Like, to put on to be like 28 in like at the highest level in the NFL, like, must be so.
Getting hit by a guy who's trained his entire life to hit you as hard as well as possible.
It might die out, dude. It might become unhealthy. Like, just I mean, they're making it better, but it's insane how at that level, because a lot of people are really good and they stop playing when they're 22.
Yeah.
But then there's like this one group of people. Oh, they're so freaking.
It's on the position. It's amazing how long some guys hang around.
It's crazy.
I mean, quarterbacks obviously play a little bit longer.
I would get into baseball. I mean, like I'd like to be a professional. If I had to choose, I'd be a professional baseball.
Be the best professional sport athlete to be, I think.
For sure.
You know,
it's a long season though.
Right, long season, but not as hard on your body. Really good money.
Yeah. It's a long season.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see how long LeBron James will end up playing.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of last year, he talked about he might try to retire. He sort of was hinting at it, but then I saw an interview from I saw it today. I don't know when it happened, but he had this great quote about he was like, you know, people say Father Time is undefeated, but I'm trying to give him at least one loss, which is a great line. LeBron said that
because he wants to beat time.
Yeah, I guess it kind of made it sound like he's just going to see how long he can play.
He should, dude.
He should.
Why not, man?
Yeah. What's amazing about him? There's been players like you know Udonis Haslem.
Yeah, it's kind of
Well, he played for the Heat. He retired last year at like 41.
Oh man.
You know, but the thing about LeBron that's different is he's still like one of the best players.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's still one of the top players in the league. He's not the best anymore, you know, but he's one of the top players in the league for sure. And he's 38. You know, I think he's about to turn 39 soon. So
Dang.
It's pretty crazy. It's cool to see. You know, I saw this really crazy video too about LeBron James that was like trying to put in perspective, like how long he's been playing.
Yeah.
And it was listing off all these different players he's played against. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
Where he's like, LeBron played against Allen Iverson when he played for the Sixers. And he played against Shaq and the Lakers. Like he played against that Lakers team.
That's trippy, dude.
Yeah, like there's all these like iconic teams.
Dude, I just remember seeing him playing when I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah, I remember when he was in high school. Because I was playing ball, I guess middle school at that time or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a big deal. It was like, oh, this guy's the next Michael Jordan.
That.
He's coming out, you know, high school. And I remember I had a magazine, you know, that had all this stuff about him on it before he even like went to the NBA.
Yeah.
And a memory that always stuck in my mind about LeBron was in the summer, like before his first season when he was on the Cavs, you know, there was this interview with him and he was like, yeah, it's been an adjustment, you know, because I'm used to being one of the best, you know, the best player on the team, and now I'm just like one of the guys, you know. So it's been like a humbling experience. That didn't last long.
Yeah,
it didn't last long at all.
That ESPN video, you see that one?
Which one?
It's an I think it might be a 30 for 30 on LeBron James and his like him coming up. No, it was Hoop Dreams maybe. You ever seen Hoop Dreams? No, it might not have been Hoop Dreams, but it was following it might have been Hoop Dreams. It was following LeBron through his like younger years.
Okay.
It's really dope.
I'll have to check it out.
You gotta see this, dude.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I've never been like the biggest LeBron fan.
Yeah.
I'm on the Jordan side when people start debating like who's the best.
Yeah.
Like it's Jordan. It kills me when people try to say LeBron, but I respect LeBron and just incredible player, incredible career. I mean,
you gotta see that doc, man.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. One thing I wanted to say. I can't remember if I've said this before on the podcast, but something that bothered me that I feel like sports media people like kind of miss. You know how they're always like crazy with like these obscure stats to be like, it's the first time this team has scored 14 points in the first quarter since 1983 or whatever. You know, they always have these like crazy things that they just pull out somehow. And to my knowledge, they missed a big one, which was when Udonis Haslem retired. He was the last player to have played against Michael Jordan.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's the end of it. A true end of an era right there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Udonis Haslem.
Yep.
It's a respectable name.
It is.
He won some championships.
Yeah.
I remember he played the Bulls, didn't he? When he was on that Heat team with it was with LeBron.
Yeah.
And they had Derrick Rose.
I mean, he was there with Shaq.
That
Shaq D-Wade team. And
everything. I forgot about that team, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a fair weather NBA guy. I'm not like I like talking about it. I'm just saying I'm not knowledgeable, but like,
yeah,
man, I forgot about that team. They won a championship too.
They did, yeah.
I think I did fantasy NBA one year, and I won one year. I think I had Shaq. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I guess Haslam has
Yeah.
3, maybe 4. I don't know how many they won with LeBron. I think they just got 1 with Shaq. I think they got 2 with LeBron.
2, yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember that was such a big deal when they got Chris Bosh. And Ray Allen.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it Ray? No, was it Ray Allen?
I think so. Yeah. They had a stacked team.
Yeah. And that guy from Duke.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? He'd always take
JJ
charges.
Redick?
He'd always take charges.
JJ Redick.
It was a different. It's like
That's a funny claim to fame. Like, yeah, I'm the charge guy. I take charges.
he was known for.
I get knocked over, and it's
He was so good at it.
yeah. I get knocked over in a way that's bad for the other team.
Battier, Shane Battier.
Oh, that's probably
the guy?
Yeah, probably yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I guess we'll wrap this up. It's good.
I could talk with you for hours.
Yeah.
This is great.
We
Man.
gotta go. We gotta do some sets.
Hell yeah.
Beer belly open mic.
Yep. Every Thursday.
Yep. Every Thursday night.
John's a great guy. Hey, I know you got a lot of fans. I just want to say you're a great addition to the Chicago comedy community, man.
Thanks, man. That's a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming on, Paul.
All right, man.
We'll do it again. See you guys.
Thanks. See you, everybody.